Check, check, check 1 2. Check, check, check. Gosh, I really hope you can't hear that outside the garden. But whatever, I gotta record something. But you know what? Back to the topic. And guys, y'all, I love playing airsoft. The fact that it's kind of like real life Call of Duty makes me love it more, you know? It's a game where you get to dress up, cosplay, and shoot toy guns at each other. It's like being a kid again, but for like, well, still a lot of kids play, but whatever. I digress. Yeah, it's basically cosplaying, if anything. It's also awesome looking at the custom guns and loadouts other players have, from like the Milsim Mark 18s to speedy high kappa builds. I don't know. I love them all. This is like a bunch of different type of like airsoft to play too. There are fields. There's like field play, objective play, CQB gunfights, one-on-one gunslinger style matches, which is sick. Shoutouts to gunslingers. Their events are awesome. It's also like HPA Speedsoft, like Team Deathmatch, like games, and my favorite is like Jungle Ball. It's a competitive team-on-team style where it's kind of like airball and paintball, but it's like airsoft. Very similar, kind of. But even with so much enjoyment, there's still stuff that like ruins it for me. Like mainly cheaters and like cringy ass like kids that take the game too seriously. But that's enough for me. It is like enough for me to like maybe drop the hobby sometimes, you know, but who knows really. But hey, what's up y'all? It's me, James, come to you with another episode of some plebs random uptakes to show about what's going on at the moment and topics around my life, trying to do content and the occasional dumb rants and uptakes I have. Man, one of the hobbies I love the most right now is airsoft. I remember like my first airsoft game like it was yesterday. I really got back into it, and freaking hyperfixation, fell in love with it again. But having the hobby has still have a bunch of cons, Well, firstly, how I got into playing airsoft was my brother came across it one time when I was in high school, and it looked fun for him. We were playing Call of Duty a lot, and it's like, hey, let's try it. It kind of like feels like it looks like real life Call of Duty. So went ahead and tried it. This was in high school, and I loved it. It was fun. And my first field I ever played in was this old field called it's called Airsoft Playground back in the day. Then they changed their name to Tac City in South Almonte. Right now it's still around, but it's in, I forgot what city, but it's a lot different. It's a lot different from what it was before. Before you get to play full auto, people running like DSGs in their build, and it's just like everyone had like P90s, box mags. Now there's no more full auto in fields apparently, which is kind of with the HPA builds, you could basically shoot as fast as like full auto on some of these like high speed gears and stuff. My first gun was a D-Boy Full Metal M4. It looks I still have it, dude. It's great, but kind of needs some build. My first loadout was like just like a kid, you just go in there and wear a sweater. I wore a very bright purple sweater, striped purple sweater, and I still own that sweater too. I'll bring it out to some games, but it's a little hot right now, so I wouldn't do that. And then fast forward a bunch of years later, probably like a year from now, probably. I just had the itch to go play because I was playing. I think it was during. No, it wasn't during COVID, but I just suddenly started watching these videos on my recommendations about airsoft, mostly Demo. And he had like these cool high kappa builds, and I was like, oh, I kind of want to try airsoft again. And then I was looking at fields, and apparently there was one near next to my job, like 2 minutes away. So I was like, you know what, I'll check it out. Went into my closet, found my old high kappa, and then I was like, okay, these mags are leaking, kind of, but well, we'll see. We'll have fun. We'll play. Gas up the high kappa mags, and I was like, yeah, there's a little leak here and there. And then like played my first game, and it was awesome. This new field, I love it. N1, Project N1, best field around, man. And after that, I fell in love with it again. Freaking my super high fixation. I was like, I went super 100% into it. And right now, my current build, I have like a bunch of projects still going on. Sadly, it did take a hit on my wallet getting back into the hobby. But you know, I enjoy it. It calms me, you know. It actually, like, how do I say this? It centers me at the moment with all the stress going on. It's a new outlet, really good outlet. My main loadout right now, I have like a Milsim loadout and like a speed loadout and a casual loadout. I know, dude, I got so much loadouts and so much guns now. Replicas, so much replicas now. I mean, I gotta make a video. I'll make a video on one of my second channels, my airsoft channel. That'd be great. But let's get to the main points of like the pros of playing airsoft. It's really cool. One of them is the gun replicas. Dude, these replicas on like the guns are sick. Like, you could make it, like, I saw like this Mark 18, like, built. Some guy had a built Mark 18, dude. It looked almost identical to like a real Mark 18. And through the customization, that I saw like some crazy like drop stock builds, some crazy like HPA builds that look like paintball markers, super cool high kappas with like crazy slides and like shiny frames and like crazy colors on these guns too. The customizations of like the markers, not the markers, I mean like the replicas, the guns and replicas are sick. Same thing with the loadouts, man. Like, it's basically like what I said, cosplay. You're basically cosplaying like a Division agent or like a Call of Duty, like Milsim. It's, I don't know. People are like, I'll get to the cons. There are some people that make, like, you know, oh yeah, you look like a freaking LARPer. Hell yeah, dude, we're freaking shooting toy guns at each other, man. Of course we're LARPing in general, man. So whatever. But for the most part, the community is great. Like, people are there to bring you up, you know, have fun. We're all there to have fun. It's great. The referee, like in my field, apparently there's some bad apples, but just going up, talking to someone like, oh shoot, you're gonna look sick, you know, it's pretty cool. Community's great for the most part. Then you have like game modes. One of the other pros are like, it's like, oh dude, instead of it's just like team deathmatch. You get a lot of team deathmatch, but then there's like cool game modes. Like there's one in Tac City where your teammate, you're in different corners and your teammate has to run to you. By the time it gets to run to you, like to your group, you can move. So that's fun. There's this one named Corners. That one's fun. There's a freaking like competitive modes too, like what I said. Oh, sorry. Earlier about damn it. Yeah, pause that real quick. Let me just pause my phone real quick. Put it on silent. There you go. Oh yeah, Jungle Ball. That's another cool thing. But that's like the more competitive side. So it's like paintball. There's a different types of game modes you could play, competitive to very casual, and that's why I love airsoft. Basically like paintball, but I ain't got no paintball field next to me. That's close. And another cool thing is the transition to real steel. Not really. The only thing you're really transitioning is like, because I shoot a lot of real steel also, so it's like muscle memory of like, especially one of my main guns is a high kappa, and a high kappa is a replica to 2011. I don't run a 2011 in like IPS in IPSec, but I run a Glock. But it gives you the muscle memory of reloading, keeping your finger off the trigger, 180 rule. Don't shoot what you don't know what's behind. Trigger discipline too. All of that jazz. Airsoft helps a lot with trigger discipline. And my favorite, besides like the loadout and like cosplaying as like, like I guess the loadout and like custom loadouts and like cosplaying as, whatever character, like LARPing, is CQB. I love CQB Airsoft. It's like just so games are fast. You're literally like 5 feet away from each other, sometimes shooting each other, 2 feet away from each other, shooting each other. That's just the game, It's very slow, high pace, slow movement, sometimes fast movement. You got a speed boy, you gotta you run down an alley and then like flank an enemy and just go ham on everyone. You could do that, but the games are a lot quicker. You're not waiting in the bush, like freaking for 15 minutes waiting to see one guy. Action just starts in CQB Airsoft. That's why I like it. It just starts and ends and goes again. And like the field I play right now, Project N1, it's CQB Airsoft. It's freaking, I love it. It's great. But even with all the good times playing Airsoft, there's bads. And when it gets bad, it gets like really bad. So bad to the point that it ruins games and days, to the point of making me sometimes just put the hobby down for a bit, And now, one of the most things I hate about Airsoft is the cringy ass people that take the game seriously. At the end of the day, it's just a game. And people like I get it. It's a hobby. Some people, it's a hobby that they revolve their lives around. They work hard to earn money just to play and buy all the cool Airsoft stuff. But why are you taking it too seriously? Like, there's like two different seriousness that really destroys the hobby for people. People that take it too seriously, like if it's a real steal, like if they're like, oh, I'm an ex-vet, but I never served in the military, but like I got all these cool plate carriers, and like my M4 Mark 18 is like 1-to-1 replica of like the Delta Force and stuff like that. And yeah, you can't be spraying me with all that. You can't be shooting like freaking. You can't be laning me, because in real life, laning is like, it's like also a paintball term where you just like put down like covering fire. You can't do that because in real life, that's not like viable. You don't have like 100 rounds in your gun, so you can't do that. You gotta go all like, you can't play super fast because that's not like it in real life. That's one cringy ass people don't like playing with, and it ruins it for everyone. And then the others are less cringy. How do I say this? There's a term for it. They're like kids. They just start stuff because they know they're kids and nothing will like happen to them, I guess. That makes sense. Like they don't see any repercussions. They're like full auto kids. Kids being kids, sadly. Not taking accountability for their action, like Speedy Boys. Like I guess the cringy Speed QB kids kind of ruin a day for everyone. Like they don't get what they want sometimes, so they throw a fit. It's like full auto people in the legs and the face and back of the head. It's just like those people kind of ruin the game too. And like, cheaters also. People that when they get hit, keep playing, it's not like paintball where you get hit and there's like a paint and then the ref could like, oh, call you out, whatever. Here's a more of an honor game. And I get it sometimes when they don't feel it, like you catch someone in the sweater, like on the loose part, so it doesn't really feel it, or they're wearing a plate carrier and they don't feel the plate carrier. I get that, but like when it's like a clear trade or you like clearly hit them first and keep playing, that kind of ruins it. But yeah, cheaters like that, the knowingly cheaters, ruin the game because they don't want to like, they're like, oh yeah, I got the kill, I want to keep playing and stuff like that. It's like, nah, dude, just wait 2 minutes. The game's gonna end, and then we're gonna rotate, reset the field, and play again. Dude, don't have to like knowingly cheat. I get if you're a kid, first time player, and you don't really know the rules, and you're just playing on adrenaline, and some guy flanks you, and then like hits you like 3 bits, and then you turn around, and I get that. It's your first time, you're not really used to the game. Knowingly cheaters ruin the game. I hate that. Another thing that's a con is, and people would like flame me for this, but I think it is like real life. Gear matters. It's not the best. It's not the thing that defines the outcome, but gear matters. It helps a lot. Let's say people are like, oh no man, gear doesn't matter. You could have the cruddiest gun and still like pwn noobs. Nah, dude. If you're going against a guy with like an HPA HPA rifle, like instant feedback, and then you're telling me you're gonna give you a gun that's like straight out of the box with a 7.4 like a NiCad battery going against a guy with an HPA battery, and the guys both see each other, like you both see each other at the same time. You don't think the guy with the HPA build is gonna have an advantage with the guy that has like a 7.4 like out of the box G&G gun? Nah, dude, gear matters. It is what it is. It's like in the real world. If you're gonna compare yourself with the freaking real world, it's gonna matter. Same thing in paintball. Same thing with paintball. Like same thing in a lot of shooting sports in general. Gear matters, and kids would be like, "No, gear don't matter. They don't matter." Yes, gear matters, and that's just it. And I could go out this I could go with this argument over and over again, but I could state the facts all the time that gear does matter. For like, in a bit, it gives you the edge. So in a sense it gives you an edge, it matters. And since gear matters, gear is expensive. Like fusion engine is like what, $500? That's enough for like 2 guns for an HPA build. What else? Like you can have a high kappa, then like high kappa upgrades, lighter spring, faster recoil spring. That stuff adds up. And it's an expensive hobby. Just like any hobby, it's expensive. And then the last con, and it's more for me, I don't have time to play. That's a con for me. Con airsoft for me is that I don't have a time to play. I currently work 2 jobs, and one of them's overnight, and I also studying to get my master's certification. Oh, I can't even pronounce it right now. But my master's certification in one of my jobs, so like I literally have no time to play. That's just me. There's a con of airsoft for me is not having enough time to play, and it sucks sometimes because the hobby's fun, but it actually just takes a few bad apples to ruin it for everyone, But still, I'm having really fun playing games besides all the cons. Do I see myself playing more? Probably not. It's because no time, sadly. But will I have fun when I do? Absolutely. Well, do you like airsoft? Do you play? Leave a comment down below saying what you love about the hobby, or if you have any questions about it. If you like this episode, please like and subscribe. Also, you can tell me I'm still learning and trying to improve my content creation, and And if you have any constructive feedback, I would love to hear it in the comments below. But now, plebs, thank you for watching or listening to another plebs random uptakes. I'll see y'all later next time. Till then, keep grinding, be kind to one another, and hope y'all have a great day. Stay awesome, y'all. Stay awesome, y'all. Stay awesome, y'all.